Yeah, hey, we lost you for about probably about 30 seconds there.
Okay.
Yeah,
What about now? Can you guys hear me now?
yeah.
Okay. So let's say, for example, you got a home and that home is 1,000 square feet. You multiply by 4, 5, or 6. Whatever number that gives you is going to be the average kilowatt hours for that home. Now, what is the difference between 4, 5, or 6? 4, 5, or 6, excuse me, 4, multiplying it by 4 is about a husband and wife with no kids that work during the day, meaning they don't use a lot of electricity. That's like the minimum. 5 is husband and wife, got a couple kids, but they're either in school or at work. But when they get home, right, they're using electricity, they're using the internet, they're using the TV, etc. Right? By 6 is when you've got a bigger family. Maybe there's a pool, maybe there's a electric car, or any combination of that, right? That's on the higher end. On average, it's about 5, between 5 and 6. So if I get I ask a customer this, okay, Mr. Customer, you don't have a bill, you haven't been here that long. Let me ask you a couple of questions so I get an idea. How many people live in your home? It's 6 of us. Okay, great. Are you guys in the home often, or are you guys kind of like out of the home most of the day? No, right now with quarantine, we're in the home, but usually, somebody's always at the house. Okay, great. Any pool, any electric cars? Yeah, we have a pool. For sure, I'm multiplying the square footage by 6 in that situation. Does that make sense? If he says, it's just my husband and I, the wife says, it's my husband and I, and we have a baby. And, we're usually at work, and the baby is with my mom. I'm going to multiply that by 4, 4.5, but not quite 5, because they're not really home. So I want to get a realistic number. Now, here's what, matter of fact, I just had a client that I did this with. I came up with 8750 kilowatt hours yearly. When I sat down with him and we looked at the bill, and I didn't do that because he didn't have a bill. I did that because he couldn't find the bill. When we finally sit down, it was about 8,400. His bill showed 8,400 kilowatt hours. But based on this number, I got 8,750. So it's very, very close. But at least you're able to get the proposal. So anyways, to Rich's question, what about if they don't want to send you the bill, but they want to send you pictures? That's perfectly fine. Pictures are fine. Most of the time I say, you could text me or email me the pictures. If you want to just snap a picture of it. Sometimes when I visit new homeowners, right? I don't do that much anymore, but when I do, I visit. By the way, if you really want to go out there and make sales and you want to step it up, I got a training on new homeowners. You could visit 20 to 30 new homeowners a day and visit them. All you need is a business card, ideally a flyer, but you don't need a flyer, but a business card and your Powur shirt. But here's what I go. I got a Powur polo, business card, and flyers. And we got the designs for the flyers and the design for the business cards already done. All you have to do is just buy it. You don't have to go and design it, right? We already got a couple designs that, you guys, that'll work great. And I go and visit them. And because they're new homeowners, I try to go to new homeowners that are at 6 months, 3 months, and beyond. Not brand new homeowners. It is a little bit tougher if they don't have a bill, because a lot of times they'll think, I'm interested in solar, but I don't want to give you I don't want to get a bid because I don't know how much electricity I'm going to use, which is understandable. So that's why at least 3 months, it's cool. So, but new homeowners, if I would go and visit, for example, 20 to 30 new homeowners in a day. If I go and do that, I'm going to get 1 to 3 bills every time. That means that if you do that 5 days a week, for example, and you get good at this, you could get 1 to 2 sales, maybe even 3 sales in a week if your follow-up game is strong, right? So again, when you get the bill, you want the amount that they're paying, but more importantly than the amount that they're paying is what? That bar, right? For those of you guys that didn't see, this is what we want to see. That's what you want to upload. That is a money shot right there, because that is what is going to show us what the kilowatt hours are using yearly. Okay, the amount that they're paying, great. That's good for you. So you know what to compare it to. Now, that's not the real average amount. Here's another thing you have to understand. A homeowner And I let them know this. I say, Mr. Homeowner, what we want to do is we want to take your average yearly. During summer months, right now, your bill is higher than, say, probably January or February. So what we want to do is we want to figure out what is your average monthly payment. So if you take up everything you've paid throughout the year, you divide it by 12, that's your average monthly payment. So that's what we want to figure out. We want to figure out what your average monthly payment is. So the proposal is supposed to give you the average monthly payment and then the new solar payment, right? Now, I'm going to get into some scripts. Bless you, mijo. Okay, I'm going to give you guys some scripts. 1 second here. Okay, let me share the screen. Okay. All right, guys, here it is. When I'm calling people, here's a script that I have come up with and I've learned from some people. Hey, I just got started with a new company. I'm really excited and they have some amazing programs. Have you looked into solar? We actually have a program to help homeowners save money right now post-quarantine. Now, if your home qualifies, you can get a free upgrade to solar. After install, you'll receive a rebate check of $1,000. By the way, that's optional if you want to operate it, okay? And I'll show you how to do that. After install, you'll receive a rebate check of $1,000. Now, that can help you pay for your bill for a few months, or you can spend on whatever you want. It's your money. Does this program sound like it might help you? Now, the only catch is, here's where you take it away. So if I ask, does it seem like something that may help you? Yeah, I mean, that sounds interesting. And I tell them, listen, the only catch is, by the way, somebody okay, there, just muted him. So the only catch is that not every home qualifies, okay? This program is good through November 1st, okay? So let me tell you how to qualify. Solar is based on 3 things. Number 1 is your electrical usage. That determines the size of the system that it needs to be, which we talked about that earlier. Number 2 is your roof condition and your roof type. That is determined in the site survey. And then finally, your financials. We work with a few different programs and most of them require a 650 FICO score. Do you think that you would have a problem with that? I've got a friend who is crushing it with this script. I personally, I like it, but I like to make it shorter, right? I do let them know, listen, John, I just got started working with a new company. I'm really excited about it. I'm now in the solar business. By the way, let me know if you guys can hear me. It says here that my internet is not that stable. Let me know if you guys can hear me.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. I just started with, with a new company. And so I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I say. What I was saying in the beginning, because most of my people already know that I'm in solar. Here's what I would go. I would call Mike, for example, and say, hey, Mike, how's it going? Small talk. Perfect. Listen, Mike, the reason why I'm calling you is because I just started working in the solar industry. I'm extremely excited, and this is what I'm going to do for the next 10 to 15 years. I just want you to know that this is what I'm doing. In case you know of anybody that may have any questions about solar or anybody that may be interested in solar, I'd appreciate it if you'd keep me in mind. See, I make that simple. That's the first bullet, so to speak. The second bullet comes depending on what the person says. Now, if I know that the person is a homeowner, right, and he says, oh, that sounds good, thanks for letting me know, I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to proceed. And you could even add this part right here. We actually have a program, Mike, that helps homeowners save a lot of money right now post-quarantine. And if your home qualifies, you could actually get a free upgrade to solar. Have you ever considered going solar, Mike? Or have you ever considered solar? You'll find that a lot of people that have not gone solar, which is a majority, have not because they think that there's a down payment that needs to get done. They think it's expensive. Some of them think they're going to have a solar payment plus their electricity payment. Like, you'll be surprised how confused people are when it comes to solar. So that's why it's important that you have this conversation. Now, let me tell you about the install you'll receive a rebate check from. If you want to give a homeowner a rebate check, sign them up as your ambassador first. So let's say, for example, Mike is my customer, right? I say, Mike, and I offer him the $1,000 rebate check. He says, hey, man, that sounds interesting. All I need, Mike, is a copy of your bill, and I could get you a proposal later today or tomorrow. So Mike agrees to send me a picture. How do you want me to get you the bill? You could email it to me or you could text it to me. Here's what I need. I need the front part of the bill, which shows how much money you're paying. And I also need, I believe it's on the third page on Edison usually, I need the section that shows a bar that shows your 12 months of usage. That's the most important part that I need, okay? If you can send me the whole bill, that'd be better, but especially those parts. So now what happens is that he'll want to send me the bill. And if he's interested in going solar and making $1,000, I sign him up as my ambassador. Great, Mike. So listen, I want to make sure that if you like the proposal and you do indeed go solar, I want to make sure that you get $1,000 from our company. So I'm going to send you a link. It's called the Ambassador Program. It's free. This is just for anybody that refers somebody to us that goes solar. Our company pays them $1,000. So you could actually refer yourself. So I'll get him to sign up as my ambassador, right? Now I enter the lead, and I usually tell my ambassadors, put a generic password, something like solar123. That way I can enter your back office, your ambassador back office, enter you as a lead or enter your leads for you if need be, right? And you get the credit for it. So now I enter himself as an ambassador and it gets tied to me. Now I request a proposal, assign a mentor, whatever I got to do. But now if he goes solar, he's going to receive a check for $1,000 at the end of installation, which is pretty cool, right? So that's where it comes to this script here when I talk about the $1,000. You could actually offer a homeowner $1,000 to go solar. So think about this. For example, if I get a little bit of resistance, right? At the end of the day, we're in the sales business, okay? So if I get a little bit of resistance, well, you know what? I don't know. I mean, you know, I've heard things about solar. It's not that, you know, it's kind of expensive. Here's what I tell them. Well, let me ask you something, Mike. How much money are you paying for electricity right now? About $200. Okay, would you say that $200 is about what you're paying on average, or what are you paying on average? Yeah, I think $200 is about average. What if we can save you, I don't know, anywhere from $50 to $70 per month? Keep in mind, this is California. Electricity is a lot more expensive in California than it is in other states, okay? But in California, as a rule of thumb, I know I could save you 25 to 50%. Write that down. As a rule of thumb in California, I could save you 25 to 50%. That's what I've seen in this industry, 25 to 50%. So if he tells me $200 a month is his average bill, what if I could save you anywhere from 50 to $100? Would that be worth at least just getting a proposal emailed to you? Sure, why not? Listen, all I need is a bill. We're not going to run your credit. Not only that, Mike, I got to do 10 of these by the end of the week as a part of my training. So you'd really be helping me out with my training. You guys see, now you're leveraging a favor, okay? But see, now I come to him and I show him, hey, your $200 average payment, here's what you're doing. You're going to get down to $110. I'm actually saving you more than I thought I would. So once I get the proposal, the next step is get an appointment to present to them. Don't try to tell them the numbers. That's if you absolutely cannot get an appointment, then you could tell them and email them the proposal. Here's what I've done, and I've closed 2 deals like this. I've had clients, new homeowners that I met, and because of quarantine and because of COVID, they didn't want to meet, and they were kind of like standoffish. Here, I said to the homeowner, here's what I'll do, Mr. Homeowner. How about this? How about I record a 10 to 15-minute presentation of your proposal, and I email it to you? Is that fair enough? Yeah, that sounds better. But you just got to promise me that you're going to take a look at it. Because I believe, Mr. Homeowner, that if you look at it, you run the risk, a very, very high risk of going solar. I really doubt that you're going to be able to, I really doubt you'll be able to say no to what I'm going to show you. Sure. Because think about it. I cannot, this is after I cannot set an appointment with them. I cannot. They just won't budge. They say, sounds good. Great. I'm going to email you a video presentation. So here's what I do. I do a Zoom by myself, share my screen, record a presentation. I've got a slide deck for homeowners, which is like 6 slides of education on solar. I go through that. Then and by the way, I do this for some of my guys. I got one of my guys that his guy wouldn't want to meet up with us. So I recorded a video for his guy and we send it to him. So I do the slide deck. Then I show him the proposal. I upload it to YouTube on an unlisted link. That means you cannot find it unless you have that specific link. So it isn't up for the world to see. And I let them know that. I have a pre-made template for solar. I email them the template. The template says the same thing for every customer. I just change the name and the details of the proposal. It's got some links about why go solar, so one of the Powur videos. And then I include the video. I include the video of the presentation that I did for them, right? And I send it out to them. I did that. I've done that probably with like close to 10 people, but I closed 2 of them. 2 of the 10 led to sales. $5,000 sales minimum each. Not too shabby, right? Because guess what? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. The old me and the average salesperson would have said, well, I can't get an appointment with them. I guess, you know, hey, listen, write this down. Your biggest resource is your resourcefulness. Your biggest resource is your resourcefulness, not your sales ability. Sales ability is important, for sure. But you can develop that. And you can't develop it overnight if you don't have it. But your resourcefulness, that to me was a resourceful thing. I said, hey, man, I know that if this customer sees this information and I answer all of their questions and concerns, they're going to make a buying decision. One of them, I sent them the video, and I saw when I uploaded it had 0 views. The next day, it had 4 views. But see, they're the only ones with the link. They looked at that video on 4 different occasions. Now, granted, they might not have watched the whole thing the whole time, but if they watched it 4 times, there's an interest level there. Maybe the wife saw it. Then she got the husband and the son to see it. I sold that sale. That was about a $6,600 commission. And it came from a video from people that didn't want to meet with me. So you want to be like water. Bruce Lee says, be like water, my friend, right? Water finds the path of least resistance, right? So they didn't want to meet with me. That's fine. We met with them that way. But the key to building this business is, hey, listen, here's the deal. Here's another key that I'll give you. Simultaneously talk to homeowners and get the bills, and simultaneously introduce other people to look at the business. Here's why. Because one day you will become a mentor. Let's say by the time that you become a mentor, look at that guy. Let's say that by the time you become a mentor, you have a team of 15 people in your organization. And those 15 people are recruiting other people, and they haven't finished their 3. But you now, after you got a team of 15 people, you've now become a mentor. When you become a mentor, boom, all of a sudden, all of these people, they start using you as a mentor. Not only that, some of them have closed some sales. You didn't mentor them, but you still made 20% of what Powur kept. So let's say, for example, you got 10 guys, 5 guys or girls that close a sale. You're not a mentor yet. Let's say the average commission to Powur was $3,000. Well, you make 20% of the $3,000. So that's $600 times 5. You just made $3,000 in commissions without mentoring any sales, just from the first level unit level. And your team is growing. But then by the time you do become a mentor, now you got 15, 20 people on your team. What if half of them assign you as a mentor on the very next deal, now that you've been promoted to mentor? And that is why I'm so busy now. Because my team is so big, I don't have to go out there and prospect. I do, though. I still do. Because that's just how I'm built. Because my philosophy, and this is just the identity that I built for myself. If I'm not being productive, I literally get a little bit depressed. The only thing that depresses me these days is being lazy and unproductive. That doesn't depress me, but it doesn't make me feel good. I feel uneasy. Depressed is too big of a word, but it makes me feel uneasy. So, but now I've got such a big team, and I'm always recruiting people. I just recruited Ray and Mike, and these guys are absolute studs. You know what I mean? They're going to go out there and knock out their first 3 sales. Check this out. Let me give you guys these numbers. If you recruited 7 people, let's say you were a mentor. That's why you want to knock your 3 sales out so you could go 100% on your own. Then once you get 5 sales on your own, you become mentor. You take a test and you become mentor. It's not that hard to do. It really isn't, if you are intentional about it. But let's say you become a mentor and you recruit 7 people. and those 7 people do 3 mentor sales with you, that's 21 mentor sales in a month. You'll make anywhere from $60,000 to $75,000 in commissions that month in mentor sales. Let that sink in. You could recruit 7 people from ads online. I recruit people from ads. I recruit people through people that I know, right? The potential, the juice is worth the squeeze is what I'm saying. The potential here is tremendous. The juice is worth the squeeze. I'm going to open it up. Any questions that you guys may have before we wrap up the call? Don't be shy.
JC, I talked to a friend of mine that his wife is an accountant, and the moment I said solar, goes, oh no, you don't know that adds like $35,000 or $40,000 to my house worth, and next year I have to pay tax on that extra improvement, something like that. I don't want to do it. I said, no, this is different. This is not that. No, he goes, I have to talk to my accountant.
Yeah, that's fine.
What, how can I answer that?
Well, yeah, that's not true. I mean, on the traditional loan, it is a debt that goes on their credit on the traditional loan. No mistake about it. So if you're financing $35,000, that's a debt that's going to go on your credit, of course, right? It's like if you get a $35,000 car. Now, in California,
Yes.
and I think Florida and a couple of states, there's something called the PACE program that there's pros and cons to every program, but the PACE program does not go on your debt. It does, however, put like I forget what it's called. It's a certain type of lien on your home, because basically the equity of your home is guaranteeing the loan. Does that make sense? It's not your credit that's guaranteeing the loan, it's the equity. But if you refinance your house or you sell your house, it's got to be paid off in full. Max, stop that. So if you refinance your home or you sell it, it's got to be paid off. But the interest is a tax write-off. It's not a debt. It doesn't affect your debt to income ratio. So what I'm saying is that there's different options, right? There's different options for solar, right? And I always lean, hey, listen, get a free proposal. Look, here's another thing I lean on big time. Right now, Mike, the government is paying for 26% of your solar. Next year, January 1st, it goes down to 22%, and the following year it goes away. So listen, here's what I believe, Mike. This is a line I use all the time, guys. Here's what I believe, without a shadow of a doubt. In the next 10 years, it's going to be the opposite of what we have now. Meaning, right now you could drive, and every 15, 20 homes, oh, there's a house with solar. Another 15, 20 homes, there's another house with solar. In 10 years from now, it'll be the opposite. Every 10, 15 houses, oh, there's a house that does not have solar. Drive another 10, 15 houses. Oh my God, look, that house doesn't have solar either. That's how it's going to be in 10 years. This is what I tell my customers. The difference is this. Are you going to get the government to pay for 26% of it, 22% of it, or none of it? The majority of the people in 10 years that have solar, they did not get the government to pay for anything. So it's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when. We have to get away from the traditional ways of generating electricity. We're burning fossil fuels. We're running out of resources. That's temporary. That's why the government is pushing. For example, when electric cars came out, there was a lot of big incentives that are not around right now like they were back then. Because now people want them. In 2 years, people are just going to want it. People say, hey, man, even if it's just a bill swap, I'm paying $200 a month, solar's $200 a month, but my payment is locked in. Right now, you can save a lot of money. It's the best time to get involved with solar and to get solar for your home. So one thing I would tell you is this, and not only that, check this out. If they think it's a lot, here's another line. Rich, what if I told you, Rich, that whatever your solar system costs you, you're going to pay Edison in the next 7 to 10 years regardless? Watch. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to show you guys a couple of real life scenarios. And I want you guys to take your calculators out with me so you guys can work these numbers with me. I'm going to open up a proposal. Okay. Okay, here's a good one, but let me see. There's one in particular that I'm looking for. Let's take a look at this one, for example. This is a small system, okay? Small system, San Ysidro, California. Let's see, is that San Ysidro? Yeah, San Ysidro. Check it out. 21,000, okay? You guys follow me? 21,000, okay? After the federal tax credit, of 5,700, 26% of 21,933. 26% of that equals 5,702. That means that the net system cost, Mr. Homeowner, is 16,000. So 16,000. Stop doing that, Max. Sorry, guys. I got my son here. He's 6 years old, and keeping him quiet for such a long time is tough. So, you know, but he's doing a great job. Ain't that right, son? So here's what we got. Mr. Homeowner, you're paying currently about $158 a month right now. Okay. Now keep this in mind. In 5 years, you're going to be paying about close to $200. In 10 years, you're going to be paying more. So we agree that your solar bill goes up every month, right? The customer says yes. By the way, basic sales. Get the customer to say yes, right? Had a good day today? Yes. Awesome, man. It's pretty hot these days, huh? Yes. Would you say that your average payment is about $158? Yes. Get the customer in the habit of saying yes. That way, when you ask for the sale, they're like, yes. Okay? Psychological. I say things, look, buy now after this information. Buy now, you should have enough information, Mr. Homeowner. He thinks that I'm saying buy this time, buy now. But what I'm really saying subconsciously is buy now. Buy from me right now. Does that make sense? So, Mr. Homeowner, so we're going to do some math, and I take out my calculator all the time. This is a closing tool for me. So I said, Mr. Homeowner, your average payment is about $158. Would you say, give or take, that's about what you're paying? Yes. Let's say $160. Let's keep the numbers easy. $160, okay? We multiply that by 12. That gives us $1920. Okay, $1920 is what you're paying a year on average. If your average bill is about $158, you're paying about $1920 per year. Okay, so we agreed $1920 per year. Now we take your loan amount, $21,900, minus a federal tax credit of $5,700. That means that your net system cost, Mr. Homeowner, is $16,000. Okay, you know how you were talking about $21,000 is expensive? Well, the government's covering 26% of that bill, so that's pretty cool. Can we agree? Yeah. Okay, great. So $16,000 is really what you're looking at. $16,236, $231. So remember the number 1920. That's an easy number to remember, 1920. So now I take 16,231 divided by 1920. Ain't that interesting? 8.4 years. Mr. Homeowner, this means that in 8.4 years, you're going to pay Edison this $16,000. Whether you go solar or not, Mr. Homeowner, Edison is going to take $16,000 from you in the next 8.4 years. Now, that's assuming, this is key, that's assuming your bill never goes up. But you and I both know your bill's going to go up 5 or 6% every year. So that number is really about 6 years. The difference is that after you pay Edison this $16,000 in 6 years, right? You're going to have a bigger payment every single year, and you're never going to get rid of that payment. With us, once you pay down the $16,000, guess what? You got no more electricity bill. Does that sound pretty good? Does it? See, expensive is relative. It's relative because you haven't done a great job of explaining the value. Look, you got to get the customer to go from seeing the cost to seeing the value. Very important. There's value and there's cost. You got to get the customers to see the cost versus the value because it makes sense. You're going to pay that to Edison anyways. Not only that, I'm going to save you. Now, check this out. This customer is going from 158 to 78. How much money is that? $70? Ain't that crazy? We're saving this customer $70 per month. How much is that per year? About $800 a year. And more importantly, it's locked in. So when the payment in 5 years goes up to 200, nearly 200, you're still in 5 years at 78. If, you know, depending on the homeowner, I'll say, Mr. Homeowner, if you don't go solar in the next 5-10 years, you're going to be the laughing stock of the cul-de-sac. Right? Like, look at this guy. That's the only dude that didn't go solar. So this is, and by the way, guys, notice this. This is Mr. Homeowner on a 114% offset. This is 14% more electricity you used last year. So here's what I'll do. I'll toggle. That's what's so cool about these proposals. What if we get you down to 100%? Okay, let's go 106%. At 106%, your payment is $76. right? So, any questions before we wrap up this call? Okay, if there's no more questions, we're going to wrap up the call because I'm in Vegas and I got to get to LA and I got a 4-hour drive ahead of me. And I'm going to be productive on that call. I'm available for phone calls, okay, but we're leaving in about an hour. And, but I'm going to end up the day with a sale. I'm going to call that guy that I door knocked. I'm going to call him. I'm going to schedule an appointment in person or via Zoom to meet with him and get that sale closed. But ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. I'll leave you off with this. Life is about momentum. Business is about momentum. If you want to take when I started, I went every single day. I was contacting people to let them know that I was in the stoner business. I was visiting new homeowners. I was door knocking. I don't have to do that anymore, thankfully. And there's nothing wrong with it. I actually rather enjoy it. Sometimes I'm tired of being in my home and doing Zoom presentations. I want to get out. I want to get some fresh air, right? And by the way, we all need vitamin D, right? We got to get that sun. You know what I mean? We got to get some fresh air.
D.
Huh?
Free vitamin D.
Free vitamin D. That's exactly right. And so, you know, I'm a big fan of going out. I love going out there and knocking on doors and talking to people. You're welcome, Kimberly. She said, thank you so much. So guys, we do this every Monday, unless there's an exception. Like last week, we had Bobby Smith doing a training on Tuesday. We didn't do this because I also had some meetings that overlap. But as a rule of thumb, this training is every single Monday and it's different subjects. Write down your questions. When we come on these, we'll get the questions answered, guys. So let's go ahead and make it happen. Let's have a great week. Let's be productive. And, you know, if you guys need any help with any mentor deals, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I'm sorry.
Tosh Babu. I don't know who that is, but I appreciate that.
JC, of those promos and the business cards and everything, which section, I mean, where in a website we could find those?
Are you on the Power Hitters group?
Yeah.
Are you on the Power Hitters group on Facebook, Mike?
No, I think I have to get there.
Yes,
Let me
go
see.
to powerhitters.com.
Yeah.
A lot of the resources are there. Also, work with your uplines, right? And I could email you some of these designs for flyers and whatnot.
Will you please? Thank you.
I will. I'll get that over to you. And if you guys need T-shirts and whatnot, Anthony Bonilla has some great polos and hats and gear that you could get. You know, if you go on appointments, even if you're not necessarily door knocking homeowners. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned off my camera because my internet connection here is kind of bad. So if you guys need any resources like T-shirts and hats and whatnot, Anthony Bonilla is a guy to contact so you guys can get shirts and hats. Okay, guys.
Perfect. Okay.
Rich
Thanks a lot.
Rich asked about polos.
Nice meeting you, Rich.
Anthony Bonilla is your contact. Okay, guys. Have a good day. We'll talk soon. And let me know if you guys have any
Richie Rich. Are we gonna see him up there?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, guys, I'm going to sign out. Let me know if you guys need any help with any mentor deals. Have a great day, everyone.